No, ESS so everyone sees sounds official.
Heineken represent for Brooklyn.
Bag fuel, we in the building. We always represent my nigga Gully TV. You heard?
Peace. If you tune into me, you're watching this dribble by Gully TV. I want to comment on something that Paul Pierce said on this podcast that he's on right now. I don't know if it's his podcast or it belongs to somebody else, but Paul Pierce made a statement that I wanted to discuss. Paul Pierce sent out a directive to men. He said, "Gentlemen, if you're watching this video, stop going after the pretty girl and get you a solid 5 or 6. I want to build on that. I'm not going to stand by the 5 or 6 rule. You can get you a 7 or 8, but the dimes, the whole pool has been perverted." And I agree with Paul. Overall, I agree with him, and I understand the point that he was trying to make. He was saying that, get you a female who isn't going to place any types of demands on you. She's not going to have any unreal expectations. A lot of chicks, their train of thought has been damaged and corrupted by social media. I was dealing with this chick like a couple of years ago, and I used to catch her all the time listening to videos, TikTok videos of, women giving out, relationship advice and shit like that. And I used to always tell her, I used to be like, yo, why do you be listening to that shit? Like, why do you watch that shit? Like, that's not your reality. The shit that bitch is saying right now, that's not your reality. You run around here wearing furs. I got you around here, living it up. You hang out with actors and shit, musicians. Everything that I experienced, I share it with you. You done been to the Bahamas. Just, you out here living it up. There's no reason for you to, be absorbing that type of information. And that's something that we went through often. I just didn't understand what was her whole fascination with picking up other people's dirty laundry, from the internet, and more than likely, corrupting her train of thought. Getting back to what I was saying though, right? Paul Pierce said that you should get you a legitimate 5 or 6. I say a 7 or 8. And make sure that, you got somebody who's down with you and shit. That theory that Paul Pierce has, that isn't far from removed from something that I was taught growing up. My father, if you read my books, my father got a pimp background. My family, the men in my, in my circle, my upbringing, my pedigree, they was players from top to bottom. And the governing rule that I was fed when I was a kid all the way into adulthood was like who like you. That's the best policy. The chick that likes you, you should try to learn to like her too. It'll remove the whole pursuit thing. The minute a man takes on the pursuit and the bitch get an idea that you're pursuing, she's gonna drag you. This is very, very well known. She's gonna put you through all types of changes. And I study women, I do. And I listen to psychologists, and I listen to people who, according to their accreditations, they claim to be, relationship gurus. And I listen to the relationship gurus who are women. Now, I know I just told you that I had a chick around me who used to listen to a lot of TikTok videos. The people that I'm listening to, they have degrees and shit like that, right? And they often speak about the bullshit that women be on. Like, they giving it up. They tell you exactly how a woman thinks and the bullshit that they be on. They also tell you that chicks, for the most part, tend to like the guy to treat them like shit. Sounds crazy, but they're attracted to the guy who ignores them, the guy who treats them like shit. In this day and age, you'll see a chick who she might be bad, right? And she got a boyfriend, she got a guy, and he gives her everything. But that's not what turns her on. She want a nigga who's gonna treat her like shit. She want to be somebody's side bitch, you know what I'm saying, and get disparaging treatment. That's something that I'm told turn women on. Females are very, very fucking complicated. Borderline strange, if you ask me. Anytime you have a species who don't deal with logic, they deal with emotion. Men deal with logic. Women deal with emotion. In that train of thought of emotion is gonna be a lot of unreasonable and delusional shit. You know what I'm saying? So the chicks who are, Paul Pierce said 5 or 6, I say 7 or 8. The chicks that are in that bracket, they have an idea of what they bring to the table and who they are. They might be a little bit more modest. I recently was, I met this chick, right? It's a little while ago, and she told me it was really eye-opening too. She told me, she said, I was, looking through your Instagram account and shit like that, and you're kind of fancy. She called me fancy. She's like, you kind of fancy and shit. And I'm like, whatever. Get to your point, what you trying to say. She said, I just want you to know that, them restaurants and shit that you seem to like to go to, them expensive restaurants and shit, you ain't got to do that with me. I'm not really into that type of shit. And I was like, damn. Now, I like good food. I'm a foodie. I like seafood and shit like that. And I like nice things, but she said the way that she put it to me, it was kind of like a turn on and shit. Not a sexual turn on, it just was, I like that. You know what I'm saying? She's basically letting me know it ain't about all that. You know what I'm saying? I like you. Fuck the expensive restaurant. Fuck all that extravagant shit. Like, I ain't wired like that. You know what I'm saying? And she was cute, but when she said that out of her mouth, she became gorgeous. And I was like, damn. And there's women out there like that. There's females like that exist. They do. But you probably not going to find them on Instagram and shit like that. You'll find them through your life's travels. But on social media is dominated by the baddies. The bad bitch, you know what I'm saying? And those are the ones that you probably want to steer clear of, especially if you're trying to build something. Those types of bitches, they want a finished product. They want a nigga who already got something. They want a guy who already got something. And they not too much down to stand next to a guy building anything. They not down to invest their time, money, effort into a guy that's building anything. They want to hop on a nigga ass once he up. I bear witness to this. I do. Before my media career started to take flight, I had 2 stores. 2 of them. I was operating them at the same time. I went through hell with them stores, man. I had some people around me that was helping me operate them. I couldn't be, 2 places at one time. But nah, I quickly found out who was around me, like who was down and shit, because they would be present. Now that I'm Gully TV, my stature has changed. And, bitches be on my ass. They be on my ass now. But I remember, like Jay-Z said, I can recall a year ago when I was just walking my dog, barking at broads, but they didn't holler back. And when they did, all they said was, "What was the dollars at?" that's what it's like dealing with a lot of chicks today. But the advice that Paul Pierce gave out for guys who are building themselves up, you're trying to, you're an entrepreneur, you want somebody that's down with you and shit. You know what I'm saying? You making clothes, you selling clothes, you doing landscaping. You want to see who's gonna pick up a weed whacker. You know what I'm saying? You want to see who's gonna drop you off, some boxes of trash bags for nothing. Those types of gestures go a long way, and them bad bitches, they not doing that. So don't even waste your time. Don't even waste your time. It's a waste of time. And again, you know who these chicks are. Do not be delusional. When you see them, they got 30 niggas minimum on their ass. Relationships with them are very temporary. Like if you fall out with one, this ain't like the 90s and shit, like when you can fall out with a chick or have a disagreement and y'all might get back together in a week or some shit like that. These bitches be gone. You know why? They got an inbox full of options. You know what I'm saying? They got an inbox full of options. They got a whole Facebook profile, whole Instagram profile of guys liking their pictures every day and just going out of their way to show them attention. And these chicks, they don't really value good guys. So I speak for the gentleman. I'm a man. I speak for the gentleman. So I'm warning y'all. I'm telling y'all, be aware of these types of women. Get you a soldier that's down with you. And I recommend aiming for the 7 and 8s. Paul Pierce said 5 and 6s and shit. Them is damn near below average, man. Nobody wants a chick that's not attractive. I wouldn't even set y'all up like that. But the 8s are around. You know what I'm saying? You got to have your dribble right, man. Be in shape. Women are attracted to guys who got their shit together and guys who, most importantly, look like some. So make sure you in that gym and make sure you taking that trifecta. Available on my website, therealdribble.com. Peace. So you need an online push. Gully TV Media. East Coast, West Coast, down south, uptown, downtown, Switzerland. The hottest in the business. Underground MCs. Need a push? Gully TV. Published authors. You need a push? Gully TV. Your daily online source of hip-hop, sports, and fashion. The email is below. GullyTVBoss@gmail.com. Hit me up. I'll be there.